Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier. Many of you know by following the channel that I love Star Citizen and everything we hope it'll become, but it's not my only focus. When I was younger, I was interested in computers, building models, building HO and N-scale trains, RC cars, whatever I could get my hands on. I've always done hobbies intensely and in groups. I had an opportunity with JR Design and Fabrication to build some of their model kits to showcase as something that we can do while we wait between patches. Their kits are super detailed, and my OCD means that I wanted to practice a little bit before building and painting. I get the question, noobifier, why buy a model kit when you can just print your own on the 3D printer? The simple answer is that my printer isn't $30,000 and lacks the resolution. So please stay tuned for a series on that, as I'm going to add impressions and will likely time-lapse the process. Today's video is a good story and a bit of a curiosity. A good friend of mine, Ash, is a giant Star Wars fan, and I figured that I could do something fun for him while I worked on my airbrushing skills. There are a couple of really nice STL files out there. The dead StormTrooper one offered a bit of a challenge, and although quite morbid, it totally fit the bill. I started by double-sizing the original model and decided to print only the front half. This cut the print down to 25 hours, and it also reduced the number of supports that I would need. We always find out that you get what you pay for. Don't cheap out on the filament like I did because you think you'll save money, but when the filament breaks mid-print, you'll end up wasting hours of job time and you get a new piece of garbage to put in the recycle bin. The 25-hour print has two main parts to support, below the trooper's chin and on the right side of the helmet. You'll also notice that I printed a brim, as this is PLA and it is susceptible to warping and lifting. If the settings are correct, it's easy to break the supports free without any extra material. For this print, I decided to use flat black, flat tan for the dirty dusty look, a specific color for bone which is quite like flat tan. I used some white for touch-ups, and I decided also to add semi-gloss scarlet red. The paint job itself was super enjoyable, and I remembered why I enjoyed this so much in my youth. I used a Sharpie for the eyepiece to get it a more glossy look to start with, and I also detailed some of the smaller features in black. Next was the base coat on the skull, and then once that was dry, I quickly switched over to flat black to provide the char-burnt look. The eye socket, the nose socket, and other features were blackened. The broken edge of the helmet was blackened, and also the inside of the helmet. Believe it or not, at this point I figured it was 50% done. I used a mixture of black and tan to apply some extra weathering and distress, taking away that pure clean look of a white helmet. I used this over and around the eye. I punched in a thin dark liner inside the splits in the helmet, and then I actually decided to highlight the teeth in white. This was a hard call as the final effect was missing something. Bone and teeth are the same material, so although not fully accurate, I find it really helped punch out the look when you see it from across the room. That was a gamble that I think I might repeat if I did another one. The next bigger gamble was to add some scarlet to very selective parts of the part. I decided that as parts of the chart and weather story that the StormTrooper would have, the scarlet parts would only survive the elements on very well protected parts. So I learned a bunch from doing this. The first thing is that it's obviously fun to be creative and work on problems. Second, it's clear to me that the specific airbrush that I have is very good. However, it's not capable of making those 1mm fine lines that I might need in the future. And that ties in nicely with point number 3, which is, for a first go, I'm very happy with the results, but I've already thought of new ways to make the next one better. And that's it. A very small creative look at my process. Please contact me if you want help finding the specific STL files that I used. Please feel free to offer feedback and input on how you might have done this project. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope you found it entertaining. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.